From Montgomery County Public Schools, we have Board President Shebra Evans and Superintendent Jack Smith. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll begin. Good afternoon, Chair Kirwan and esteemed members of the Commission. I am Shebra Evans, Board President, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to testify today regarding the Blueprint for Maryland's Future Funding Formula Work Group recommendations. On behalf of all of my colleagues on the Board of Education, I am pleased to speak to our support of these recommendations and significant funding support it would provide for all public schools in Montgomery County and across the state. These recommendations are a strong step in the positive direction for improving access, opportunity, and learning for all children in Maryland. We commend the work of the working group and would like to thank the members for this work and encourage the rest of the Commission to support these recommendations for moving Maryland's funding formulas into alignment with the greatest school system in the world. Yes, I said the world. As many of you know, MCPS continues to grow in student enrollment, having added over 20,000 students since 2010. This year alone, Montgomery County added over 2,500 additional students, and we extended our schools, expanded to 208 schools. As we continue to grow and educate students of Montgomery County, our mission is to ensure every student will have the academic, creative problem-solving, and social-emotional skills to be successful in college and in their career, and to thrive in their future. These efforts benefit greatly for more comprehensive funding and support. As part of the Senate Bill 1030, MCPS received $1.9 million in the Concentration of Poverty Schools grants. These grants were used in 8 schools to establish community schools, which included a full-time healthcare practitioner and a community service coordinator. These funds are being used to support the physical, social, and psychological well-being and academic outcomes of students. We are very pleased that the work group recommendations lower the poverty threshold to provide more support for more schools. The addition of wraparound services, a community school coordinator, and a healthcare practitioner will help to enhance student enrichment experiences, improve student attendance, and improve the learning environment of schools throughout the state. The work group also recommended increased support for early childhood education, and their proposal will provide all 4-year-olds with full-day pre-kindergarten. This will provide the much-needed early support that has proven to improve children's futures. We look forward to working together to provide access to early valuable learning programs, including 3-year-olds, to improve the future endeavors of all children in Maryland. We appreciate and applaud your efforts to leverage new ways to improve the success of educators. The incorporation of raises for teachers in the new foundation formula will help to innovate and motivate our teaching workforce. Their inclusion is a strong message, and they are vital to the foundation of our educational system. Importantly, we do ask the Commission to consider adding funds for non-teacher educational personnel. Principals, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for respecting the time.
Yes,
Superintendent Smith.
Good evening, Dr. Kirwan and esteemed members of the Commission. I would like to sincerely thank you for the many, many hours that you've invested in what I agree with Delegate Lutke is perhaps the most important legislation, certainly in my lifetime in Maryland. And it is our intention today to express our strong support as Montgomery County Public Schools, and as you heard from the President of our Board of Education, Ms. Evans, that we think that these priorities are incredibly important and that they are critical for the future of this state as well as for our community in Montgomery County. Montgomery County serves over 165,500 pre-K through 12th graders. It's a large of students that are utterly dependent on the public school system for their futures. As former Secretary of Education said, Rick Riley, in the 90s, that children and adolescents make up about 20% of our population, but they make up 100% of our future. They make up 100% of our future in Montgomery County, in Baltimore City, on the Eastern Shore, across the state, and across the nation. Montgomery County's priorities are completely consistent with the priorities that you have set forth. We believe that it is absolutely a moral, economic, and social imperative to change the circumstance and the levels of learning for students in poverty, students of color, English language learners, who I learned a new word today, emergent bilingual speakers, emergent bilingual speakers, because in Montgomery County we are convinced that language is an asset. And so those are our priorities. Students that need additional support through an IEP and special education services, and certainly our youngest learners. We also need to focus on career education. All of these things are critically important. The thing I would say as an observer and someone who's watched your work closely for several years is these things hang together. To break them off into pieces or to fail to create a strong, well-aligned foundation will not achieve the results that we're looking for. And 5 years from now, I guarantee you, people will be looking to see what is the result of this legislation. We support it strongly. I have to concur, though, with Ms. Evans that while it is important to change the nature and the way that we prepare teachers, the way we treat teachers, the career ladders, to not acknowledge the almost 10,000 support professionals and 800 administrators in Montgomery County Public Schools will be disastrous. It will drive a wedge among the sectors of our work. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you both. We now have a representative of the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners, Cheryl Cassiani.
Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to talk to you tonight. I'm actually the pinch hitter for the Baltimore City School Board. I'm the recently departed chair of the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners, but they have a school board meeting tonight, so I'm happy to be able to speak to you. Like everybody else, I want to start by thanking the members of the commission, Dr. Kirwan, the members of the funding work group. I was just saying to the person sitting next to me, it's sort of incredible how hard you all have worked and the entire time have kept the children of Maryland sort of right in front of you. So now we're looking forward to supporting the recommendations that you're putting forth and the funding formula as this moves into legislation. I don't need to repeat the saga of Baltimore City's belief that we are at this point dramatically underfunded based on the interruption of the last funding formula with the 2008 recession. We've tread that ground any number of times. But under our current leadership, Dr. Sanfelices, she has put in place a very strong foundation for, through our blueprint, for strong literacy, strong school leadership, and attention to the whole child. And our numbers are trending up. We're not proud of the level that they are now, but we are definitely trending up in all areas: graduation rate, literacy rates, math scores. So that's good that we're trending up, but it really does matter to us that these additional resources and these recommendations get enacted in legislation. And so what I'd like to just highlight is some very strong areas of concurrence where our priorities align exactly with the priorities coming from the Commission. Additional funding for pre-K. We've been doing this for years, fully funding all-day pre-K. We don't get commensurate funding through the current formula, so we take that out of other general funds. But we've seen a strong impact from that investment. A recognition that concentrated poverty requires more funding. This is probably the thing that matters the most to city schools, that part of the formula, and we were glad to see that play a prominent role in the funding formula. Adequate resources for teachers. We're proud of the new contract we just approved with our BTU, that it has a 3% salary increase. Retention and recruitment of quality teachers. Additional funding for struggling learners. This goes hand in hand with the funding for special education. If you don't have enough money for struggling learners, you're going to have more kids in special education. It all kind of works together. We've heard from other speakers about the need for the career and technology education. We had a fairly aggressive audit done of our CTE program. We were not happy with what we learned, but it has now given us a strong base for improvement, and we think can very much inform the use of additional funds. The last thing I want to note is that we know that you have struggled with, we have certainly struggled with, wow, that was fast.
You can finish your sentence. Yes.
How you count students, poor students, and that we believe that the Latinx in particular are being undercounted. We have some ideas. We're going to start a pilot to try to recollect some of the forms, but this continues to be a very big issue in Baltimore City.
The Commission has grappled with that issue.
It's, yeah, if it were
Very
easy,
important.
all the smart people looking at it would have figured it out, but it
Right.
really does matter in the undercounting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next, Advocates of Children and Youth, we have Shamoya Gardner.
Good evening, Dr. Kirwan, members of the Commission on Innovation and Excellence in Education. My name is Shamoya Gardner, and I serve as the Education Policy Director at Advocates for Children and Youth, and as one of two co-chairs for the Coalition for the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, along with Joe, who you saw earlier. My organization, ACY, is a statewide nonprofit which utilizes data analysis and engagement with impacted communities to identify policy solutions to issues which negatively impact the lives of Maryland's children and youth. We recognize that we cannot do this work effectively unless we address the oppressive systemic ills which impact young people, their families, and communities. You have my rather lengthy written testimony before you, which details additional recommendations, considerations, and concerns in each of the 5 policy areas, as well as with respect to the funding formula recommendations. I encourage you to view this testimony as an offering rather than as a challenge, and point to ACY's history of involvement with the work of the Commission, our support in the passage of both the Bridge to Kirwan and the Blueprint for Maryland's Future legislation, and our organizational commitment to improving outcomes for children as evidence that we stand with you in pursuit of a world-class system of public education. As you know, and perhaps all too well, it is impossible to address every single facet of every single issue which exists within public education in the time that you have had. And it would be similarly difficult even if you had had a decade to do so. We are, in fact, advancing reforms for a system which was founded on the inequitable treatment of Black students and other groups at its very outset. It will take some time to mitigate the impacts of racism, sexism, ableism, xenophobia, income stratification, and other forms of oppression on our students and communities, let alone the entire system. That is not, however, an excuse to delay action or to throw up our hands and act as if there is nothing left to do. Even though December and an exceptionally active legislative session are fast approaching, you all have the power of the final report. Indicate your will on the issues you've been unable to address. Make bold, declarative statements so that in January of 2020 and beyond, education and youth advocates such as myself and the many people in blue shirts behind me can carry this work forward with the stated will of the Commission backing our efforts. The state constitution specifically calls for the funding of public education via taxation or some other means. I knew that was 30 seconds. At a time when some of our state's leaders have abdicated their responsibilities to our state's youngest people and its greatest hope and a bright future in favor of short-term, illusory, and unsustainable financial prosperity, I implore you to remember the findings that brought us here. Maryland may be among the wealthiest states in the nation, but our schools are average and the outcomes we yield for students who are anything but white, neurotypical, and economically sound are less than that. What is the point in amassing wealth if we don't invest it well? Choose agency, listen to our concerns, welcome our allyship, and remember the ultimate truth that our kids can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you. We now have 3 representatives from the Maryland Association of Boards of Education, Julia Hummer, Tolbert Rowe, and Pamela Cousins.
Good evening, Dr. Kirwan, members of the Commission. I'm Tolbert Rowe, a proud member of the Caroline County Board of Education, and immediate past president of the Maryland Association of Boards of Education, also known as MABE. We're representing all the state's local boards of education. We appreciate this opportunity to present our positions, priorities, and concerns regarding the pending policy and funding decisions being considered by the Kirwan Commission on Innovation and Excellence in Education. MABE is honored to be represented on the commission by former MABE President Joy Schaefer, and greatly respects the dedication and expertise of each member of the commission. MABE has participated fully in the commission's work and supports the thrust of significantly increasing the state's investment in a high-performing and innovative statewide system of public education toward the goal of improving our schools so that our students are as well prepared as students educated in the highest performing school systems in the world. Local boards of education, through MABE, led the advocacy effort to create the commission, precisely so that an updated adequacy study and other funding and accountability issues could be debated and transformed into legislation to update and improve Maryland's school finance system. Local boards believe that Maryland can and should move forward by adopting meaningful changes to our current school finance system, a system we can all be proud of, but which now dates back to 2002. Launching Kirwan is a constitutional imperative in Maryland. The Maryland State Constitution requires the General Assembly to, quote, establish throughout the state a thorough and efficient system of free public schools, and shall provide by taxation or otherwise for their maintenance, end quote. The state agreed to uphold its constitutional duty, enacting the Bridge to Excellence Act in 2002. Today, Maryland is poised to reaffirm this duty to our students by enacting and funding the Kirwan Blueprint for Maryland's future. MABE is confident that on a timeline not to exceed 10 years, Maryland can renew its commitment to fulfilling its constitutional mandate to fully fund and support equitable access to all students to an excellent education in all 24 school systems. Extending this schedule of funding increases and reforms beyond 10 years is unacceptable. Maryland's nearly 1 million public school students deserve a world-class education today. We would also encourage the Commission to consider calculating the actual net cost of your recommendations after determining the positive economic impact of these recommendations. Thank you for your leadership in developing your recommendation. MABE looks forward to the successful passage of the Kirwan Blueprint legislation in the 2020 legislative session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Julie Hummer, a former special education teacher, a mother of 5 public school students, a member of the Anne Arundel County Board of Education, and MABE's Legislative Committee Chair. MABE views the Kirwan Blueprint for Maryland's future as a call to action for the building of a world-class education system in Maryland. MABE supports the focus on policy and funding recommendations in the following major policy areas to ensure that each student is provided with high-quality early childhood education programs, high-quality and diverse teachers and principals, access to college and career readiness paths, including advanced college prep programs and career and technical education that leads to employment, and the significant additional state and local resources needed to ensure that each and every student is afforded every opportunity to succeed. For MABE, the Kirwan Blueprint appropriately focuses on our youngest learners, as well as our students on the threshold of moving on to success in college and careers. Local boards recognize the need to invest in high-quality early childhood education. This includes a significant expansion of full-day preschool, which will be free for all low-income 3- and 4-year-olds. These programs are critically important if we are to truly prepare each child to enter kindergarten ready to learn. MABE supports the Commission's recommendation to count pre-kindergarten students as enrolled, but also to count them separately for state funding purposes through the implementation phase. Importantly, MABE endorses the Commission's recommendation to define pre-kindergarten students as enrolled students for purposes of triggering the mandatory local share of funding on a pure pupil basis. MABE and local boards also strongly support the Commission's focus on creating a world-class instructional system, which will enable most students to achieve college and career-ready status by the end of 10th grade, and then pursue pathways that include early college, advanced placement courses, and/or a rigorous career and technical education program leading to industry-recognized credentials and high-paying jobs. CTE programs are in high demand and critically needed to prepare our students for success. This is why MABE supports significantly increased state funding to expand and strengthen the system of comprehensive high schools with specialized CTE programs and specialized CTE high schools in accordance with local school system priorities and local board governance. MABE also agrees with the Commission that we should introduce students to career and academic options early, including during middle school, to give students the opportunity to take introductory CTE coursework in order to engage their interest and retain them in high school. Thank you for your vision in providing a comprehensive set of recommendations and reforms to improve school readiness and college and career readiness for our students. MABE believes these programs will prove to have an enormous return on investment for our students, communities, and the entire state. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am Pamela Cousins, a member of the Calvert County Board of Education and Secretary on MABE's Board of Directors. Equity in funding and educational policies and programs is a top priority for MABE and the local boards we represent. For MABE, educational equity means providing access to essential academic, social, emotional, and economic supports in order to engage each student in rigorous instruction with appropriate educational resources to achieve their highest potential. Funding equity is necessary to support educational equity, and clear formal requirements for state and local investments in programs, schools, and students are needed to ensure that both of these equity outcomes are achieved. This is why MABE so strongly supports the Commission's recommendations to increase funding for all students, but even more so for students learning English, receiving special education services from economically disadvantaged households and communities, and struggling learners. MABE also supports adding a concentrated poverty funding formula to support intensive services for students and their families to enable them to succeed in school, that are coordinated and able to meet the additional needs of students in schools located in distressed communities. Lastly, MABE strongly endorses the Commission's recommendations to phase in a new requirement for local governments to pay a local share of per pupil funding for economically disadvantaged students, students receiving special education services, and students learning English. The current funding formula provides substantial state funding on a wealth equalized basis. However, the law includes no mandate that local governments close the gap by providing an equitable local share of per pupil funding for those students who need a strong shared investment of state and local dollars the most. Thank you for the work on behalf of Maryland Public Schools and each of our students.
Thank the three of you.
Thank you.
Next, we have from the Maryland Public Charter School Alliance, Alan McKenzie.